whether you support bicycle buses as part of a sustainable school travel strategy. And if so, will you commit to ensure that they are backed by the necessary infrastructure?
Thank you. No, I haven't yet heard of these bicycle buses.
I think this is a perfect example of the sort of black and white reductive approach that Reform have to local and also national government if they ever got in. Here, George Finch, the Reform councillor who's the leader of Warwickshire County Council, appears a little condescending as he asks about bike buses.
I'm looking forward to hearing what these are. I don't think we've had them up in the north yet, so I don't know what our residents have seen them. If not, I don't know what these are. So I'll definitely have a look at these bicycle buses. If you could maybe explain to me now what are these bikes on buses? I don't know.
Well, I don't need to explain it to you because I know that the bicycle mayor has requested to meet with you and to take you on a bicycle ride, and you have refused him. So maybe rather than me explaining it to him, you could ask the bicycle mayor and actually meet him.
I want to go back to another meeting where George not only is saying nobody is interested in bike lanes, but also says in a petty way that they won't be taking money from central government, who are actually giving it for that purpose.
Councillor Finch, please, and then we'll have Councillor Scott. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. I just want to say, when going around the towns in Nuneaton and Bedworth, they do not talk about cycle lanes. This isn't. You think this is Warwickshire taxpayers' money. This is money that's being spent by national government to be put into Warwickshire. You need to realise that this is still taxpayers' money. It's still money that people would rather the government spend on other things. So what we're saying is no, we'll bounce that back to national government and they can work on other things as well. We should not be spending money on cycle lanes.
Now, a quick explanation. Bike buses are where groups of children ride along together on their way to school. If you're a parent, I'm sure you'll want your children to have the safety of being able to ride on a bike lane rather than on the road. All this comes on the back of George getting upset because people are criticising him for sending a letter asking if parents mind their children walking 8 or even 10 miles a day to get to their schools and back in order for the council to cut down on transport costs.
Very disappointed that this has been used as a political football to attack myself and the council. What I feel that's really unfair is that our most vulnerable disabled children in Warwickshire are not getting the best service being taken to school and back because there's so many other children that are getting it. Now, listen, 10,000 children receive home-to-school transport in Warwickshire. 2,500 of those children have disabilities and SEND needs. 7,500 do not. I just want to make it clear to those residents in Warwickshire, I will not take home to school transport away from disabled children or with SEND needs. They are the most vulnerable children in society and they need our support, and I'm always there to do it. When we look at these things, home to school transport has to be reformed, and people do agree with that. We're not saying that we're going to just blow the whole thing up. We're looking at it sensibly with those or every child at the forefront of our decision making. But we have to look at the facts. £50 million a year, and it will grow, is not sustainable.
Because people in our towns are telling us, we want you to prioritise on other things, making sure that potholes get filled, making sure that roads, the conditions are good. And we have good roads in Warwickshire. We really do, and that's to the benefit of all of us.
A quick note, Labour have also made available an extra £1.6 billion to give to councils to fix potholes. Anyway, that's beside the point. George thinks that cycle lanes are all about net zero, but there's a solution to his problem of travel costs for school kids, and the council is being given the money. The council doesn't even have to pay for it from their budget.
But what we need to realise is that we have to go back to priorities, go back to basics. It's simple. And unfortunately, the dream of net zero and cycle lanes is not achievable, and you have to stop this because it will eventually destroy our town centres. You're putting in cycle lanes around towns into Weddington. And do you know what, Councillor Candicott? No, I do not hate Weddington or not like it. I've been there for many years, went to school in Weddington, got good friends in Weddington, love the place, great social club as well. But what you need to realise is that that's not how you solve the problems. People are crying out for other things, homeschool transport, SEND provision. They're not crying out for bogus cycle lanes. You just have to go back to common sense politics, go back to what the people actually want, and that's just to see that their money is not being wasted.
What an idiot. Anyway, I'm wondering if this isn't just about the reform dogma of net zero, but also the fact perhaps George can't ride a bike.
I'll definitely meet with the bicycle mayor in my office. I think that would be a good idea. I don't really want to be going around riding bikes. I've got a very busy person, but I can definitely organise a meeting with him to talk more about this bicycle bus. So yeah.
Click here for a bunch of rotten, dumb and bigoted reform councillors who haven't got a clue how to run a council.